Account like dotted backspace. Zoom meeting. The host has started broadcast.
My God.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Top of the time zone.
Yes,
I'm Alan C. You're with Johnny J in the house, here on the Innervision FM universe. You're not going to want to miss today's podcast. Brought to you by Colorado Art Relief Fund, Eeny Meeny Grants, Bonefields Foundation, Chinook Foundation, Christian Brothers Moving Company, based in the great state of Texas, Englewood, Colorado, and Phoenix, Arizona. Also, Richard Damiano of the Littleton Eye Clinic. Stay with us.
Oh my God.
That's who we love, and that's who we serve.
Blah 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 blah.
It's running out. Hi everybody, this is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying, stay with it and hit it.
Well, okay, thank you very much. Mayor Trump, and you ain't black.
Holy
Okay.
happy Monday, Batman.
All right. Well, we finally got here 12 minutes in, but we are here. It's like, so I got to keep track of that. So what time? It would be like 42 after, would be a whole 30 minutes, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff to talk about. I've been working with this AI program to try to get some songs out there, some parody songs and stuff like that. But it's like, it's kind of interesting, and I don't want to use my IRA times for that. But it's like, because I got some grant proposals. I got so many grant proposals that I have access to now. It's like, I just want to use it very sparingly. I just knocked down my phone. Very sparingly, my IRA until next month. But hey,
Well, being on a fixed income means we're always broke. You being president and station manager of Innervision FM and running the nonprofit for innervisionrecords.org, correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny, but you're not in this. Well, obviously you're in it to make some money, but you're in it more to help people out. You're in it more to promote the grassroots musicians, whether they're physically disabled or financially challenged or both. And it's a situation where if you can provide a product or service and help other people achieve success and get their dreams realized, it's a win-win situation. So, folks, if you're joining us tonight or sometime down the road, consider supporting us. We are a 501c3 corporation. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Is that right?
That is right. That is right.
So take car donations, take donations of any type. Hit us up at www.innervisionfm.com. It gets us the ability to keep the lights on while we're waiting for grant proposals to get approved and for the grants to get into the hands of Innervision FM so that we can, support grassroots musicians like yourself. Hit us up at info@innervisionfm.com. We're going to have a fun show tonight. We got a birthday, posthumous birthday. Abraham Lincoln, born 1809, February 12th. And he is credited with being one of the founding presidents of our great republic.
Number 16.
Number 16, yeah. And he was credited with for all intents and purposes, the extinction of slavery. Obviously, there were some folks that didn't really dig on that too much. And President Lincoln was unfortunately assassinated long before his time. A great man, and he's had a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Check out there's a lot of biographies written on Abraham Lincoln. Very fascinating. Him, his wife, the whole family. Man, nothing better than diving into history.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And we're supposed to be broadcasting on Instagram, but I don't know if I got it yet. Because it was telling me like, I had to put in a new stream key and,
Right.
and check this box, and I didn't, because I said I don't want to put in a new stream key. So who knows? Maybe you saw us last Monday, but it's not on tonight. So we'll fix that up, because that Instagram thing is kind of interesting.
It is fun because Instagram, you have the ability, just like you do with YouTube or some of these other platforms, to create faceless channels.
Oh yeah.
This is a situation where we just took on a new sponsor called Terra Green. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Terra Kleen. Sorry,
Yes.
TerraKleen. And these guys are kind of cool. But why did I bring that up? We have the ability to
Yeah.
just connect with a lot of folks. Man, I lost my train of thought. I got a bunch of stuff going on here. Where do we want to go first, Judy?
Well, you know what? Oh, by the way, speaking of that Terra Kleen, we were walking to my place where I work out, and I saw we saw this lady and their son out in front of this place, and we thought it was a car place where they fix cars and stuff, but I guess they sell like cleaning fluids for your business. And so I had a extra paper with me, so I gave them the Terra Kleen paperwork, and so hey, that was kind of interesting. And my wife, I mean, I heard them talking, but she's just asking like, "What is this place?" And it just turned out to be like that. So and we were running late. So I was saying, "Man, we're running late. I'm not gonna have my whole workout time." But you never know when you're running late who you're gonna meet at that time. So
That's
that was kind of
absolutely
cool.
right.
So yeah,
Good.
let's talk about Lincoln's birthday.
Okay.
He's born at like what, 1809.
Right, February 12th.
Yeah, very cool. 1809. And man, what a time it was. Of course, he said that he was born in the Lincoln cabin, not a cab. Oh, by the way,
So,
did you hear about this guy who made a house out of 50,000 bottles?
no.
Yeah. I don't know if they were like Coca-Cola bottles or what, but he
Huh.
just stacked these bottles together until he built up. And I talk about living in a glass house, man. Oh man.
Well, these
So
days it'd probably be a plastic house because they don't make glass Coke bottles anymore.
yeah, and could you imagine like how many 50,000? I mean, I know he didn't drink all that many Coca-Colas. I mean, he must have asked for, he just must have been collecting them from neighbor to neighbor. And
Yes.
man, could you imagine his backyard? Gee, man, and city, because unless you wash out each one of those bottles, man, that's gonna attract ants like nobody's
Ants?
business.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh man. No, but Lincoln back in those days, I mean, it was a log cabin, so did it could it attract what are they called? Termites?
Termites. Yeah.
Yeah, that as well.
Oh
That as
yeah,
well.
I'll tell you, living in a situation where I was off the grid for a while, I had to worry about that kind of thing myself. Wood spiders, termites, all kinds of crazy stuff. Then
No.
of course when it got cold, they all died. But yeah,
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln and his group of fellows that he hung out with, and ladies, obviously.
No.
Um, boy, our society these days, they couldn't last 12 hours.
No, no way, no way. I mean, no running water, outhouse, all that stuff. You have to go out to the wood. And the husband, you had to go out the wood, chop some wood up
That's right.
and bring it into the fireplace. You have probably an iron stove, well, no, iron stove. And then you probably had something underneath the ground to keep potatoes and stuff like that cool, like during the
Right.
wintertime, so you can at least, have something like that. So I mean, you have to be pretty resourceful. Oh, and of course, you're a hunter. You probably went out hunting, and
Yep.
and maybe there was some deer around that area, or other rodents. You shot that, and maybe you had berries. Maybe you had maybe some fruit
Yeah.
where he was, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't. And then did you? Somebody was reading me the history, and this guy, he married the love of his life,
Yeah,
and then
Mary.
yeah, and then she had a kid, and then I think one of the kids died or something like that.
Yeah, very sad, very sad and tragic.
Yeah, and then she died, and
Well, she
then
got into depression really bad,
oh,
and then she ended up dying, and then he ended up, well, obviously he got assassinated.
yeah,
It was wow. I mean, but before all that even happened, I mean, this guy was credited with getting America through a civil war, and he started the reunification process just before his death.
mhm,
And, it took probably a good 30, 40, 50 years for for the South and the North to even get to a place where they were united again. I mean,
yeah,
the fact there's still a little bit of animosity. People are starting to realize, though, the real stuff behind. Um,
yeah. And
the
I just found out,
Democrats.
Frederick Douglass, who used to go over to the White House as
Yeah,
well, he was born 19, wait, well, he was born uh February 14th.
right. He was on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, okay. I'm just looking at that, and it's like, okay, wow.
Yeah.
That is and later we'll do a special Valentine's show coming up here as well.
We'll have us some fun.
So,
YouTube is going to
mm,
let us back on live, folks.
yeah, yeah. Starting tomorrow, we should be back on live on YouTube.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, I've just been uploading stuff. I that show that we did in Taylor Swift, we didn't say much about her until the end. I uploaded that show Sunday at
Uh,
6 o'clock. I should have did it at 6:30. Because I was thinking like the halftime show would be on by then, but it didn't come on until 6:30.
hey, did she get a proposal by that football boyfriend of hers or no?
If she did, it didn't make news.
It wasn't televised.
No, it didn't make news. Now him screaming in his coach's ear about "let me back on the field," that got on. Yeah, I said, well, of course, I understand. He's just a compassionate young boy. He wanted to get out there and play his hardest and stuff like that. And he says, well, probably started saying like, Taylor wants me out there, coach. I can imagine that. Yeah, Taylor wants me out there, coach. Oh man.
Well, I tell you, a
But
lot of bookies are super happy. Kansas City Chiefs took it again.
man, I
Was
didn't
it
lay
the
down any
second or
bets.
third year in a row? I can't remember.
I know it's been at least two in a row, maybe three in a row. Maybe
Right.
this is the third time.
Yeah,
So
so
hey,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, if you're a fan of that team, I'm not a big fan of football in general, but I do sometimes keep abreast of the halftime stuff. Usher was performing.
yeah, and that
That
was
was
kind of
interesting.
interesting. I mean, you could tell that he wasn't lip syncing. But it was one thing my wife was saying, this female guitarist came up and was
Mhm.
playing the hell out of this guitar. Man, I said, I
Really?
want to know who she is, because one time I saw like Ross Stewart come in town, and the song Maggie May, and it's like this mandolin plays in the solo, right?
Right, right.
But in the show, it was a female, and I said, who is that? Who is really kicking butt with that guitar? So it's like, hey, these studio musicians is not just a guy thing. It's like these women are stepping up and saying, I can play that guitar.
Well, I tell you, I like guitar players, man, and when they're ladies, boy, I get
Oh man.
lost.
Man, so I'm gonna Google. Oh, let's see if I can Google that. Okay. Let me see if I can. Who was the female guitarist with Usher during the Super Bowl? Let's see if we can find it. Oh, H-E-R. I guess she's pretty well known.
H-E-R. Her. H-E-R. Okay.
H-E-R. I guess that's her name. Her. Okay.
That's
That's
awesome.
not what a name. Yeah, Alicia Keys was there.
Wow.
So I wonder if I can find her music. Oh, let's see if she has an album. Play H-E-R. Apple. Apple. Oh God, it's gonna keep asking me this stupid question. Amazon. Okay. Amazon hasn't added support for that. Why you ask me if you know it didn't?
I gotta love technology, man.
Oh man. So anyway, so now
That's
I know her name. Her.
that's really cool.
No man. So that is okay, so I guess she's known somewhere from somewhere,
Hmm.
you know.
But she was playing the heck out of the guitar yesterday at the Super Bowl. You
Oh
know, one
yeah.
thing I did notice that was interesting too, but not so much in a good way, was President President Biden calling out shrinkflation yesterday.
Oh man. Oh, what he's gonna say, like the economy is doing fantastic.
Right?
Yeah, man. A liar through and through. Yeah.
Fire
Oh
through
man.
and through. It was
Okay.
interesting. It was interesting. Leave a like, share, subscribe, toss a comment down below. What are some things that you saw at the Super Bowl if you watched it? What are some commercials that stood out to you? Both, both
Yeah.
good, not so good.
Now I heard about like the Jesus commercials. He gets me. And so
Oh,
it was like a
dude.
collage. You heard
Oh,
about
that
that?
had me up in arms, bro.
So okay, when Jesus met the prostitute or the woman who committed adultery at the well, no, he didn't throw any stones at it. He
Ah,
stood up and said, "Hey, I don't condemn you. Go on and sin no more."
yeah,
So he was asking them, he was saying, repent, stop living that lifestyle and repent. The
yeah,
guy who was crippled for 38 years, when he healed him, he says, don't sin anymore because something worse may happen to you. Right.
yeah.
So
Interesting.
repent. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone's like, okay, so they're showing these people, the priest washing this gay guy's feet, and then what was it? The cop washing this black guy's feet, and then somebody washing the lady who's going into the killing throngs of Planned Parenthood. Uh, but and then throughout, when I would have said, "Hey, yeah, let me wash your feet, but hey, can we show you what is those videos of that they show you how the baby is living
Or an
inside?"
ultrasound
Yeah,
like?
yeah. Let me show you Instagram so you can think before you go into there. I mean, it was nothing. I mean, yeah, okay, the Washington, but it wasn't saying, well, what now? Do I just continue living? Paul says that. He says, hey,
Oh,
because I have
absolutely.
grace, do I continue sinning? He says, certainly not.
Yeah, God forbid.
Yeah. So this commercial was halfway saying something, but not going to another level of let's understand it. And I heard this guy this morning, calling and a lot of people, because of Marilyn Murray O'Hare was successful at getting the Bible out of the schools in 1962. A lot of people, they don't read it on their own. They don't make that time to search out the scriptures because I guess there's so many other things to read now because people they say, oh, I don't have time to read the Bible, but they have time to read or listen to audio books for other things. But it's like, man, it's so simple, but yet it confounds the that confounds. It stumps the highly educated and it stumps the people who just who can read at a sixth grade level, but just don't choose to open up the Bible and read it for themselves and say, if you don't understand something, Holy Spirit, give me understanding.
That's right. I mean, one of my biggest mentors in the Christian community was a pastor that had actually passed on 2 days after Thanksgiving in 2000, I think 18 was it? But he used to say that God's Bible is so simple that it's brilliant. You know, you can get into the Bible, whatever type of the Bible you want, whether it be a whatever version, and you'll find understanding, especially if you're seeking that understanding with a true heart. Um, Obviously, a lot of folks, get all bent about, oh, I read this translation because this translation is different and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I mean, if you're truly seeking after God's kingdom first, you're going to find it.
Yes, yes, yes. And I remember when I was reading like Hebrews. It was like, I think it was in my 20s or something like that. And it was so difficult. And then I had to go back to the Old Testament. And then as I read the Old Testament, it became clear who's Zechariah and all these other guys. It became clear. So I had a reference point. So sometimes you got to go back to the old and then go back to the new, because remember, these are the first Christians were of the Jewish ilk, and so they understood the Old Testament. And then a lot of the guys that were the apostles, they they knew the Old Testament, and as they were building upon the New Testament. So it's
right.
like, yeah. So you can go through the year, like Bible. There's plenty of like little studies you can get that go through the year. Freedom Street with Barbara Carmack. She goes to the Bible like from the old to the new in 1 year. I used to just put on the record, or well, okay, there's no longer records. But back in the day, I used to have this talking book thing, and I would put on this 33.5 record and listen to one side and flip it over, listen to another side. And I guess now they probably have it in audio book, right? I bet they do.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I like reading it in Braille. In Braille, I used to have like a whole stack of Braille Bible. I mean, like, I think it came in like 13 volumes.
I still have a stack.
Yeah. And so I put them down in the library in our building. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why anybody would want to steal a bunch of Braille Bibles. I mean,
I used to joke around with all my friends. I got the heaviest sword ever, man.
yeah, it's like, yeah. But yeah, I read with Braille the New Testament. I wish I got to get a new the bumps are almost disappearing. I've read
done
that book
that
so
too,
bad.
man. I've read that Bible so many times, the bumps are almost gone.
So I gotta, covers are gone, stuff like that. I gotta, I keep saying I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna call them up and order a new one. I just, things get
Got
in the
some
way.
duct tape on my binding.
Oh yeah, yeah. All that stuff. And you got to restring a few pages, staple a few pages. But anyway, so yeah, so it's a Warren book, and like I said, it's free to read, ladies and gentlemen, and you get a better understanding. And if you're confused about Israel being the chosen people, that will clear it out. And if you just get into the word.
It's interesting because there's been a whole movement which has taken God sort of out of his own scriptures. So you'll get folks, not naming any names, of course, but you'll get folks that they'll talk about the 7 spiritual keys to success. Are there scriptures in there? Nope, not a one. They'll talk about motivation. Well, you can do this because Christ is within you. Yes, that's true. Absolutely, that's true. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But the thing is there are times where individuals, well, you can do this. You have the power, blah, blah, blah. It lies within you. And so there's a movement that really sprung up over the years. And some of the charismatic Christians kind of got pulled into this sort of movement where they're looking for success-driven speeches. They're looking for motivation. They're looking for things that will itch their ears and make things sound real good for them. But they don't really have to get into that Bible. In fact, oftentimes, if you ever find a preacher and he's up there preaching about 7 spiritual keys to success, but there aren't any scriptures, I would encourage you very strongly to look at that and see if that's somewhere where the Holy Spirit wants for you to be. So, but
Yeah.
that is interesting. You know, a sad thing happened. Was it yesterday?
Probably at the church, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joel
and
Osteen.
Joel Osteen, yeah, at this church, which is a mega church, I
Mhm.
guess someone decided to go in and spray the building of God. But what I like is a bad guy dressed up in his Halloween costume, and a
Mhm.
good guy off duty
Right.
took out that evil.
Yeah, we want to thank all the boys, all of the people who wear the blue colors.
Hmm.
We want to thank the first responders. We want to thank the veterans, because without those folks, man, there wouldn't be freedom that we have here.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
just imagine yesterday going to a church in California, well-known church, big, 10,000 people maybe. I don't even know how many people run through Joel Osteen's church, but
yeah.
you're going to a well-known pastor's church and you're just going to have a good time, maybe get a little bit of the word of God, and maybe get a little fellowship. And
Yeah,
wow,
somebody decides to be a spoiler, and lucky
that's right.
it was in Texas because Texas has open carry,
Yeah, don't
and
mess with
so
Texas.
yeah, so if yeah, you can do that. All you can do that in all these other liberal places where they say no, we got to treat the law-abiding Second Amendment people like criminals and make sure that they don't have access to it, especially in New York, and make it open season for these other people who don't pay attention to laws. And like I said, you see what happens when we don't have those stupid laws in a place like Texas, and you come in there, you want to blaze. Well, you better look out because there may be somebody blazing back at you.
That's right. That's right.
So, and unfortunately, they had access to some children.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought, well, if I have some children with me, maybe they'll hesitate. But no, they handled it.
That's
So
good. That's good.
yeah, yes. Now let's talk about something. Now, okay, I've done a little acting. I don't know if you ever done like acting in high school or grade school
I
or
have. I was in the drama club in 9th and 10th grade. And then I was an extra in a Luke Perry film. I believe his name is Luke Perry.
okay.
Uh anyway.
Well, so Monique, I sort of been like chiming in, and this is
Uh,
an interview. And I
okay.
forget the guy's name. He's a football player. Shay, yeah, Shay, it's the Shay show, whatever. He did a 2 hour and 52-minute interview with
You
him.
sent me that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
got to an hour and 52 minutes, and I didn't get through that in one day. I sat down, listened to a little bit, and I went on to do something else, because life goes on.
right.
I said, man, you must have had a lot to say in 2 hours and 52 minutes. So I got to enough time to get the gist of stuff and say, oh my God. Okay, so you go to Hollywood and you start meeting people, and people say that, hey, you got a nice personality. You start, doing comedy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you start to make a name for yourself. Then they say, hey, this girl, let's get her on a sitcom. Right. And so let's see, 1999, because it went for 5 years, or maybe it was 2000, 1999, because it ended in 2004, you get a sitcom and you're getting paid
Right.
$55,000 a episode, which,
Right.
for the average person, I mean, that's great. I mean, and say like you used to work at Popeye's Chicken, and man, you upsell people, and people say, hey, Monique, how you doing, girl? And I say, I'm doing just fine. I say, you want you only want a 2-piece? He said, well, yeah. How about a 4-piece? And then they said, well, why not, Monique? And he said, well, how about a
How about
dessert?
a 20? How about a bucket?
Well, how about dessert with that? And said,
Right.
why not, Monique? And while you're having that, I'm going to have some too. And she said that's probably why she became such a big girl, because she was eating the product and selling the product. So she gets to Hollywood, and they do a contract, and she's doing her acting thing, being funny on TV, and her representative is supposed to take care of the business.
Right.
Now, maybe the representative is in cahoots with the other people, and they're not telling her that, Monique, yeah, you're making $55,000 an episode, but each year we're supposed to negotiate up. But she's having a good time. She got this other girlfriend of her. They're having a good time. They're doing the show. And then year by year by year, and they keep telling her, they keep dangling this in front of her, syndication. Once you hit syndication, man, that's when you really make money. But she didn't know that she should have been making the money right then and there. Every season, the show was a success. They sign on another season. Okay, now let's go to the negotiating table. And she's not necessarily a businesswoman. She's a comedian. She's, this is more money than she would ever see, like working at Popeye's Chicken.
Right.
And if I don't know if you want to advertise on our show, but something like that. I don't know. Man, I don't know. Incredible Popeye Chicken, whatever. Okay. Anyway, so that show comes to an end, and then a few years later, she finds out that they are. And she didn't know this. She was going to different cities and said, "Hey, don't forget to watch my show on this channel in one state, in one city." Hey, I don't. And then she didn't realize that the show was being syndicated because they had her doing all these drops for different cities.
Whoa!
Right, and I got to call Officer Tatum because he's doing the show now, and I want to ask him. Because he does a lot of jobs. I mean, does he know this? And maybe he's on top of it, right?
That could be.
And so, man, because you're there and you think because people are kissing up to you, you think that they love you, and really they don't love you. Maybe they're just trying to get over on you because of your naivety. And man, you got to always be watching out for the sharks, and it's unfortunate that you're doing what you love in an atmosphere that you love, but you have sharks swimming around saying, let me take another bite. Let me take another bite. They won't feel it.
Yep.
So now she's 56 years old. She's still fighting to get that money back. She said, I don't want more. I just want
what's due me. I mean, shoot, she's been waiting since what, 2004, I guess you were saying?
Yeah. Yep, 2004.
Wow.
And
so
then,
she's been waiting almost 20 years for this money.
Yeah, and then you find out that Tyler Perry, the guy that likes to dress up as women, and he found his audience.
Yeah.
She got it on tape. He put out a rumor out there saying that she was difficult. So that rumor just kept spreading. She got him on tape saying, well, okay, I lied about that. Well, she says, well, then make it right.
Make it right. Exactly.
Go and tell those people that I'm not difficult. She had David Hart. She had was going to do some stuff with him, and he was going to produce it and all that kind of stuff, and hook up with the company that does his stuff. Yeah. That rumor got around, and the guy got between Hart and Monique and said to the studio, no, you don't want to work with her. Now, that guy shouldn't even been even a part of it because it was between Hart and her, and he says, right. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. And he even wrote some checks when she was, going through some hard times because she had been blackballed because she pointed out certain people like Oprah, Taylor Perry.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh
what
boy.
was this other knucklehead's name? He's a comedian that he had a baby with this woman, and the man ended up killing the baby, and it was like,
Wow.
Hughley, yeah.
I have
Oh,
no idea. Huh.
now, yeah, that's his name, Hughley. And I'm not getting his first name right, but what happened on his show? I gotta tell you this part. So she's on the morning show, and he's not there. So they said, and then they're having a good time, and then they play this game, and she said, usually I'm the comedian, you can tell jokes about me, but you don't go strike out at my family, because my family has nothing to do with this.
Right.
They're reaping the benefits of it, but they have nothing to do with being in the limelight.
Right. They're not yeah.
And my children are not, my husband, even though my husband, my manager, I'm the front person. He's taking care of the business.
That's
So
right.
they play this game, what if? They said, what if your husband with a condom have sex with this other guy, and then he has a sex with this other guy without a condom? What if? And she says, wait a minute. That's not even a funny game.
No.
Because my husband is not dabbling in that lifestyle. And what does this have to do with anything? So she called Hughley and says, hey, your people, and she had to send out her lawyers and say, cease and assist, do not air that.
Right.
Out, right? And it wasn't aired. And this is the first time that she showed it. And Hughley just said, well, that's the way it rolls. I mean, that's what we do, And she says, what? And he could have said, wait a minute, I'm apologize. That's not the way we roll, but apparently that is the way to roll. And he has been ranking on her for the last 10 years, ever since that had happened. And people kept wondering, like, what did she do to him that he's talking so bad about her? And now, 10 years later, it came out, and she was trying to not hide it, but take care of it in private. But this Hughley, the coward that he is, who got this girl pregnant, and then instead of taking the baby out of that situation, let the married man to the woman, when she was messing around with the married lady, killed the baby. The coward that he is just proved more about how much of a coward this man is.
Wow.
So then Oprah, because she said she got in the business, and because she said she didn't see anybody that looked like her on TV. And then Oprah got on and she said, hey, maybe there's a chance, because I want to do that. And now I got someone to look up to and say, hey, she did it. Why not me? Right? Well, then Oprah had been in the position that she had. She would go out to play the parts of the grandmother of this person or the mother of that person. And then Oprah would say, no, take her out of that position, and I want to play that part. And so she's taking money out of her when Oprah has a bazillion
Millions and millions and millions
of
and
dollars,
millions of dollars.
and could sit out being the mother or the grandmother of somebody.
Yeah, I say give her the starving artist a shot, as opposed to somebody who really doesn't need that money. Look, Oprah has bought
a TV network,
TV network,
which I never
hundreds of
watched.
acres in Hawaii. I mean,
oh
man, this lady is not hurting for certain.
Right. And then it was this other actress, which I don't remember. It was in this Color Purple, the new one they made with all the yeah. If you like that song, I Kissed a Girl and I Like It, you'll love this, you'll love it in this movie, man. It's like, they really went out. But it was one actress, she was breaking down saying, I've been doing this for many years and they still won't pay me what I'm worth. And they got on the set. There was no food, no dressing room set up. And she said, I had to call Oprah to say, hey, what's going on here? And then she said, yes, Oprah fixed it, but it shouldn't have been this way, because we have been in the business for a long time. We were handpicked to do this particular thing. And what made Monique and Oprah fall out was she had did this movie, and I think it was called Precious, whatever. And Oprah wanted her to do some free publicity, and she says, "Hey, I did the movie. I'm exhausted." And she said, "No." That's all Monique said was, "No, I cannot do anymore. Let the other actors do it, but I'm exhausted. No more." And then that's when Oprah said, "What? You're gonna say no to me? Hell yeah, you put in your shoes and socks the same way as anybody else."
Right.
And that's what got on Oprah's bad side. And then that's when Oprah started doing that. And now Oprah and what's that other guy's name? The guy who dresses up as a woman. I keep forgetting these guys' name. And then another comedian, which I don't remember. And then she was on the show with the guy who does it, the Family Feud, the new guy. Well, you people, put it
Steve
down there.
Harvey or something like that.
Steve Harvey, yeah. With Steve Harvey, Cat Williams went on. And Steve Harvey said that he was homeless, and Cat Williams says, "No, that's my story. He stole that story from me." And I said, "Okay, Steve Harvey, okay."
Well, I tell you, the music and film industry is a dog-eat-dog world. We're not trying to detract people if they want to get involved. Just know that
just
it is
beware and get some people in your corner that knows business.
That's right.
And or take business classes before you go in, because you're going to need it. Yeah. Because these people will, if they can get away with something, they will get away. They will get away with it, and smile in your face.
That's right.
There's a song by this group, Cypress Hill. If you want to be a rock star, and when he starts talking in the middle of the song, and he starts saying, if someone does you wrong in the music, you meet him in the street, you got to slap his hand and pretend like it didn't happen.
Right.
And I guess, yeah, I screwed you over, but wasn't it a fun ride? Right. And it's like, so the music business is crazy like that, which I don't understand. And people who say that they can do stuff and they can't do stuff. It's like, oh. So anyway, so Oprah now, and the guy who does the Family Feud, he has his own show, and Tyler Perry, now they're kind of say, "Well, Monique, you should apologize." And she says, "What? For exposing you guys? I should apologize to you?"
Wow.
It ain't happening. Because she says, "Well, what about the other girl, the other young women that will be coming up behind me? Yeah. And if I bow to the kings and queens now, how's that going to work for them when they have to make a decision about their integrity and about like their earning potential?" And they see somebody over here making, and I think even Oprah had that problem where she was making 22,000 an episode, and her co-host was making 55,000, and she had to, bring them to the table and say, "Hey," or I'm leaving. And I guess she left in the situation. I don't know what show it was that when she was just starting out, but that was definitely like, that's a big spread. If you're equally here and you're doing some stuff here, and one is getting more like that spread, like, you got to get on your agents and say, "Hey, you got to negotiate this better, you guys." Right. Who was that they were negotiating? Was it Three's Company, and the girl who played Chrissy, she was negotiating, and she thought, she's played the dumb blonde, but she said, "Hey, I should, people come to that show to see me just as much as Jack Tripper or."
Oh yeah, no, she's actually a very smart lady. I mean, she played a dumb blonde on there, but she was not in any way, shape, or form that typecast for that character.
Yeah. So I mean, it happens, and it happened to Monique, and yes, it happens, man. And it's like, God, man. So all I have to say, you guys, if you want to go to Hollywood and you want to be a superstar, study some business, get a manager, because I know you want to concentrate on your craft. And you hire those other people to take care of that other stuff. but
Right.
make sure they got your back. Because
Yep.
Monique's husband, he has her back.
Right.
And he's gonna negotiate. And I guess the big thing with the Netflix, he saw that these other people were making this crazy money. And she says, well, how come you only, I mean, $500,000 is good money, but when this other person is making $13 million and you're only offering me either $1 million or 500,000, something's not right here. And I can see that, man. Something is not right. So,
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Have you had something like this happen to you as a musician? I'm talking to all my guitar playing friends out there that are subscribed. I'm talking to all of you guys in the Innervision FM universe. Some of you folks are independent musicians, recording artists. You had to have had something like this happen to you. Tell us about it. Hit us up at info@innervisionfm.com as well. And in this way, you can be added to the newsletter so you can be abreast of all these fun topics we've had.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and let us know, what business is. Now, it might not have been like that. I remember I telling one experience, I was working as a DJ and I was getting a lot of people coming for me, and I would be able to get people on and off the dance floor and stuff like that. And I asked my daughter, my boss, now maybe in the real world, you're supposed to ask for a quarter raise. But I
Yeah.
said $2. I said
Hey.
$2 because it's like, she said, "Oh, you're making all this money with the tips." I said, "Some nights I am, and some nights I'm not."
That's right.
But I wanted to get upper my base pay. And she said, "No, I can't do it for you." So I went downtown, and because there was an opening downtown, and they offered to pay me $15 more.
Wow.
And
You've got your own equipment. You don't rent anything. You've got all your stuff. So,
well, no, I had all my CDs, and there it was cool. I went and said, "Well, let's see what you can do." And it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think 4:30 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. I got up there and I said, "Let's." So I put on Brick House, right?
She's a
And
break hound.
and
Okay.
people got up and started dancing. And I did about a half an hour. He said, "Okay, let's go sign the papers."
Wow.
And so I went back to her and I said, "Hey, I got to get my 2 weeks notice because and she was madder than the hornet because she had me at such a cheap price. And then get this, the female DJ she hired after me, she paid her $2 less than what she was paying me. God, I said, "No, but you guys are ladies. You're two women. What are you doing?" Oh man,
That's
but
crazy. That's crazy.
so
Shafted by another lady.
yeah, man, he's like, you guys, women always complaining like you're not getting paid equal amount. Well, hey, you can't be doing that in the inner circle of women. Come on.
Right?
But oh man. So anyway, Hollywood is Hollywood, and that is
is.
what it is. Hey, we're getting a lot of impressions and likes and stuff like that on LinkedIn. So give a shout out to LinkedIn out there,
Yep.
and we'll get this Instagram thing done, fixed up, because that looks like a lot of people come in because they do the algorithms a little bit different on Instagram, but we'll figure that out. So anyway,
Looks
so
like we're
anyway,
back live on YouTube tomorrow, so don't miss us tomorrow.
yeah, well, some fun topics, and I'm gonna see if I can finish out the rest of this 2 hour and 52 minute interview with Monique.
All right.
All right, God bless, man.
God bless everybody.